Good day and welcome to Islandstats Sports. I'm Earl Basden. Bermuda junior squash players got yet another taste of international squash as they took to the courts for the Canadian Junior Open. Anaya Smith went down in his opening boys under-15 match in straight games 11-5, 11-8, 11-7 to Jonathan Fan from Canada. Charlie Riker, playing in the same age group, advanced in his match 12-10, 11-4, 11-6 over another Canadian, Jagrup Bahu. Taylor Carrick also advanced, defeating another Canadian player, Musa Hook, in straight games 11-5, 11-1, 14-12. Abigail Brewer won her opening girls under-15 match. She needed 4 games to advance past Emma McCain from Canada, 11-6, 11-4, 4-11, 11-6. Playing in the same age group, Charlotte Toogood went down in 3 straight games to Yu Kwan from Canada, 11-4, 11-4, 11-love. In the under-19 boys division, Keon Knights advanced with a straight games win, 11-7, 16-14, 13-11 over Duncan McCulloch. In the second round matches, Charlie Riker went down in straight games 11-4, 11-3, 11-2 to Canadian Dylan DeVerley. Taylor Carrick also went down to a Canadian player, Matthew Ferris, in 4 games, 11-8, 11-2, 7-11, 11-6. Abigail Brewer took on the girls under-15 division number 1 seed in her second match, going down in straight games to Diana Argueno from Mexico, 11-2, 11-1, 11-1. In the under-19 boys division, Keon Knights went down in his second game in straight games, 11-3, 11-1, 11-3 to Canadian player Stefan Hibuch. The Bermuda School Sports Federation's primary, middle, and senior school knockout semifinals and finals took place at the National Sports Center on Friday night and Saturday, with Bermuda's future footballers showing theirs in attendance all their talent. The Barclay Institute won the under-16 senior school boys final with a 1-0 win over Cedar Bridge Academy. The lone goal came in the first half through Dajay Hart. Whitney Institute won the over-13 middle school boys final 3-1 over Saltus Grammar. Whitney came from behind after going down to a Jared Richardson goal. Cash Hall equalized for Whitney midway through the second half. Whitney then got goals from Jamori Terrell and Natre Eversley as they won the trophy. The under-13 middle school boys final saw Saltus come out over Whitney in a penalty shootout. The teams were 4-4 after regulation time. Saltus took an early 2-0 lead in the match through Ajani Lee and MVP Jared Richardson. Whitney pulled a goal back with their own goal and then equalized through Kasai Sealy. Whitney took the lead in the second half through Isaiah Otterbridge, only to see an own goal level terms for Saltus. Johnny Burchell gave Saltus the lead late in the game before MVP Leroy Lewis tucked away an equalizer in the last minute for Whitney Institute. Saltus managed to convert all 5 of their spot kicks, while Whitney had an early kick saved. In the middle school girls final, it took kicks from the penalty mark to decide a winner as T.N. Tatum ended Saltus Grammar School middle school girls' dominance with the win. Saltus MVP was Exana Painter, while T.N. Tatum goalkeeper Zachary Turner was the MVP for her school. In the boys' primary school final, Summersfield Academy defeated West Pembroke 1-0. The lone goal of the game came from Ty Dunlop late in the match. And in the primary school girls final, we're sorry we didn't put it on to be reported by others, Elliott Primary School girls defeated BHS 3-0. In semifinal action on Friday in the under-13 girls semifinal, it saw Elliott Primary need kicks from the penalty mark to defeat Saltus 3-1 after the 2 teams finished deadlock at 2-2. BHS defeated West End Primary 5-2. In the primary school boys semifinal was West Pembroke 1, Saltus Grammar School 0, Summersfield Academy 4, St. George's Pratt 3. In the middle school girls semifinal, it was Saltus 1, Whitney 1. Saltus, however, won 2-1 from kicks from the penalty mark. T.N. Tatum defeated BHS 9-0. In the boys under 13 middle school semifinals, it was Saltus Grammar School 3, Senn Secondary Middle School 2, and the Whitney Institute needed kicks from the penalty mark to defeat Delwood 3-1 after the 2 teams finished deadlocked at 1-1. In the boys over 13 middle school semifinals, it saw Whitney defeat Warwick Academy 10-0, while Saltus got by T.N. Tatum 2-1. The senior school girls semifinals saw Berkeley Institute defeat Saltus Grammar 1-0, while Cedarbridge got by BHS 9-0. The senior school over 16 boys semifinals saw Berkeley Institute defeat Warwick Academy 4-0, while Cedarbridge Academy defeated Saltus Grammar 4-1. The senior school girls final and senior school over 16 boys final will be played Thursday at the National Sports Center. 3 extra times needed, 34 goals scored, all before we knew who had advanced to the semifinals of the Shield and Friendship Cup trophy matches. In quarterfinal action, the North Village Rams had to come from behind to defeat Southampton Rangers 5-2 after extra time. The Southampton Rangers went ahead in the 28th minute through a goal from Vernon Parent-Chief. Ezekiel Stoneham doubled the Southampton Rangers lead with a goal in the 62nd minute. However, 1 minute later, it was 2-1 as Shane Hollis scored. Keishan Bean drew the North Village Rams level in the 88th minute, sending the match into extra time. And Iche Zul would score in the 93rd minute to give the North Village Rams the lead, which was doubled in the 114th minute when Jason Lee struck. Hollis, who began the comeback, would close out the scoring with a goal in the 121st minute as the North Village Rams advanced. The Boulevard Blazers went down to the Somerset Trojans 4-3 after extra time. At the St. John's Field, Somerset Trojans got 2 goals from Jonathan Bean and single goals from Leo Burgess and Dion Stovall, while the Boulevard Blazers got single goals from Nico Smith, Ian Koch, and Ty Vince Douglas. Over at the Den, the PHC Zebras needed extra time to defeat the Devonshire Cougars 2-1. PHC took the lead in the 15th minute when Secoy Robinson converted from the penalty spot after Janai Rayner was brought down. Shamari Burns would equalize for the Devonshire Cougars in the 28th minute. Neither team would score again until extra time, which came in the 99th minute when Marco Piper found the back of the net for the PHC Zebras to advance to the semi-finals. After a scoreless first half at the Wellington Oval, Patrick Richardson scored the lone goal of the game for Hamilton Parish to defeat the Devonshire Colts and put their names in the hat for the Friendship semi-final. Now looking at the Shield quarterfinals, at Bernard Park, BAA got an own goal in the 80th minute and a Matthew Lampett goal in the 82nd minute as they advanced after defeating the Somerset Eagles 2-0. At the Wellington Oval, 2 goals from Jairosino Bassett gave the St. George's Colts a 2-0 win over the Paget Lions. At the St. John's Field, it was not 0-0 as we had previously reported up until 9:30 last night. It was Crossroads defeating Flanagan's Onions 4-1. Crossroads got goals from Khomeini Tolbert, Mason O'Brien, Michael Cardwell, and Aaron Spencer. Peter Robbie scored the lone goal for the Flanagan Onions. At the Devonshire Recreation Club, Robert Rollins scored a hat-trick to lead Young Man's Social Club to a 4-3 win over Wolves. Raymond Burgess added the other goal for Young Man's Social Club. Sergio Richardson scored twice for Wolves, while Stephen Bremer added the other. Meanwhile, Bermuda's English players in the Championship Division, Division 1 and Division 2, had a tough weekend for 2 and a goal for another. Bristol City clinched a 2-1 victory over Nikki Wells and his Huddersfield teammates, a second away win of the season for Bristol City as they leapfrogged Huddersfield at the rain-lashed John Smith Stadium. Meanwhile, Bury beat Rai Simons and his managerless Chesterfield teammates 1-0 to get back to winning ways in the Skyback League 1. And Reggie Lamb and his Mansfield teammates, along with their playoff rivals Leyton Orient, shared the points in a 1-1 draw in dreadful conditions at One Call Stadium, which Lamb scored his 3rd goal of the season to level the matters 5 minutes from time. The Sharks Swim Club Long Course Championships took place at the National Sports Center on Saturday, with Olympic hopeful Rebecca Halliger home after competing at the AT&T Winter National USA Championships. Keegan Woolley set a new 11-12 boys 50-meter and 100-meter long course breaststroke record, while Brian Desmond is the new 11-12 Bermuda record holder in the 800-meter long course freestyle with a time of 10:29.99. Sam Williamson and Gabriella Pittman reached the qualifying standard for Carifta. Meanwhile, the Bermuda Amateur Swimming Association have once again updated their short course meter records. This follows the completion of the Mailbox Unlimited Winter Age Group Championships that took place at the Bassa Pool and the Mega City Invitational Meet in Canada. During the Winter Age Group Championships in the boys 11 to 12 age group, Keegan Woolley broke an 11-year-old time trial record when he touched the wall during the 50-meter breaststroke with a time of 35:35, breaking Chris Garcelon's record of 36:80 set on April 17, 2004. Woolley then set a new 100-meter breaststroke record, clocking 1:17:01, breaking his own record of 1:19:80 set on November 7, 2015. In the girls 13 to 14 age group, Emma Harvey broke her own record of 1:05:48 set on June 11th of this year during the 100-meter butterfly when she clocked a time of 1:04:06. Harvey also set a new 200-meter butterfly record of 2:25:28, breaking her own record of 2:31:97 set on January 31st of this year. Harvey also is the new 200-meter individual medley record holder, clocking a time of 2:27:01, breaking her own record of 2:28:07 set on March 22nd of this year. And then she set a new 400-meter individual medley record, clocking 5:15:41, once again breaking her own record of 5:17:89 set on November 7th of this year. Skylar Powell set a new 800-meter freestyle record of 9:44:02, breaking Shannon Hassel's record of 9:45:34 set on July 16, 2013. In the boys 15 to 16 age group, Jesse Washington broke his own record of 52:81 set on March 22nd of this year during the 100-meter freestyle when he clocked 52:41. Washington also broke his own record of 58:69 set on March 22nd of this year in the 100-meter butterfly when he recorded a time of 58:57. During the Mega City Invitational in Canada in the girls 9 to 10 age group, Elin Daly broke her own record of 29:06 set on June 27th of this year in the 50-meter freestyle after she clocked a time of 28:46. Daly set a new 100-meter freestyle record of 1:02:57, breaking her own record of 1:02:94 set on November 8th of this year. Daly broke Ashley Irby's record of 5:12:99 set on June 8, 2012 during the 400-meter freestyle when she clocked a time of 4:59:89. Daly's 100-meter backstroke time of 1:12:77 saw her break her own record of 1:14:21 set on November 7th of this year. She also broke her own record of 1:13:90 set on May 10th of this year in the 100-meter butterfly when she was clocked at 1:11:36. Elijah Daly broke his own record in the boys 9 to 10 age group of 2:51:89 set on June 10th of this year in the 200-meter backstroke when he clocked a time of 2:48:28. Daly set a new 50-meter butterfly record of 35:47, breaking Jack Harvey's record of 35:62 set on May 3rd of 2014. Daly also set a new 100-meter individual medley time of 1:20:10, breaking Mitchell Garapi's record of 1:21:21 set on March 20th, 2010. For one runner, the only thing that changed was the date and venue, while another returned to winning ways. Spencer Butterfield, for the second weekend in a row, has run to victory during a road race, this time taking the BAC Jingle Bell 5K title, while Dion Brewery was crowned the female champion. Butterfield clocked a winning time of 17:17, with Christopher Harris finishing second in 17:31. Youngster Quincy Kuzak finished third in 18:39. Brewery finished 11th overall, recording a time of 19:32. Erica Hawley was the second female finisher and 22nd overall with a time of 20:28. Krista Dyer rounded out the female podium, finishing 24th overall with a time of 20:40. Meanwhile, Jordan Ming competed in New Mexico in the USA Track and Field Cross-Country Junior Olympic Championships for boys ages 13 through 14. Ming finished 195th overall, clocking a time of 15:15, covering the 4K distance in Albuquerque. The former Casemates prison came alive once again, playing host to some speed and colorful dressed cyclists. The 2015-16 Flying Colors Mountain Bike Race Series continued with the third race of the season at the National Museum of Bermuda, where 109 competitors competed in 11 different divisions. The male A division was dominated by youngsters yet again, with Robin Horsfield recording a winning time of 53:51 after 9 laps. Matthew Oliveira was second with a time of 53:52, while Dylan De Silva finished third in 53:52.4. The male veteran over 40 division was won by Charles Swart, who clocked a 7-lap time of 45:29.5. Hans Harshey finished second in a time of 45:37.5, and Dexter Swan was third in 46:09.6. Karen Badage won the female veteran over 40 division race, clocking a time of 40:28.3, with Alyssa Rouse winning the female B division, clocking a time of 40:23.1 over 6 laps. Tristan Narroway was second in 47:18.7, and Cassie McPhee was third in 47:40.4. The harness pony racing season continued at the National Equestrian Center with a full slate of racing on Sunday afternoon. In the first race of the day, Philip Correa in the bike of Pocket de Gull clocked the fastest time in the 105 to 106 time bar class when they clocked 104 and 3, putting one leg outside the time bar. Second place went to Tyler Lopes in the bike of Cherokee's Ironman, who clocked 104 and 4, also putting a leg out. Candice Martins in the bike of Shady's Liberty and Damian Tucker in the bike of Bruner's Girl put a leg out in the 109 and 3 to 110 and 3 time bar class. Bruner's Girl clocked a time of 108 and 1, while Shady's Liberty clocked 108 and 2. Meanwhile, Gillian Teixeira was back to work in Belgium, competing in the CSI 2 and CSI YH1 Lear International Horse Jumping event. Teixeira finished 88th riding Duke of Somerset in the 1.30 meter Table A in 2 phases class. They clocked a time of 54:28, but had 12 penalty fault points. Teixeira and Amarula finished 43rd, competing in the 1.35 meter Table A in 2 phases class. They recorded a time of 42:44, but they had 8 penalty fault points. Riding Escalada, Teixeira finished the 1.20 meter Table A against the clock class in 35th, recording a time of 65:72, but they had 8 penalty fault points. Teixeira and Escalada then finished 35th, competing in the 1.20 meter Table A in 2 phases class. They clocked a time of 55:57 and had 5 penalty fault points. During the 1.35 meter Table A against the clock class, Teixeira and Amarula finished 17th, clocking a time of 66:46, and they had 4 penalty fault points. Mud, speed, jumps, and excitement filled the air at the Southside Motorsports Park as 2 events took place. Firstly, racing in the 2015 Bermuda Motocross season continued. R.J. Pitcher won the Pee Wee class on the day, while the 50cc class was won by Janari Thompson. Zeno Tucker rode to victory in the 65cc class, with Keon Glassford winning the 85cc class. The novice class was won by Zende Ingham Fubler for the day, while the 450 and over 30s class was won by Letroy Trott. Tariq Bell won the expert class on the day. Secondly, the Bermuda Karting Club's Lindo's group of companies, Why Go Anyplace Else Trophy and Season Points Day continued on the roadside. Jason North won all 3 tag senior class races on the day, with Blake Horseman winning 2 of the 3 races in the tag junior class. Jamie Newton won 2 of the 3 races in the cadet junior class, with Shannon Casey winning all 3 races in the shifter Matavai class. In the final games of the year before it goes into the Christmas and New Year's break, the Salawan Island Basketball League had 2 games on tap inside the Cedar Bridge Academy that produced 203 points. The first game of the night saw the Twisters go to 3-1 on the season with a 75-35 win over a young Skyforce team who are now 2-11 on the season. Seward Smith and Kevin Stevens both scored 20 points for the Twisters, while Skyforce was led by Rashawn Tankard with 19 points. In Game 2, the Thundercats recorded a win against the Hoop Stars 50-41. Chris Crumpler scored a game-high 17 points for the Thundercats, while Jan Sutton scored 14 points for the Hoop Stars. As the holiday season approaches, only youth netball action took place at Bernard Park on Saturday. In the under-12 division, the Nets Whites defeated the Nets Greens 18-9. Najee Rayner led the Nets Whites to victory with 12 goals, while Saria Butterfield added 5 goals. Ramaya Brangman scored 5 goals for the Nets Greens, and Amaya Burke scored 4 times. In the under-14 division, Amaya Butterfield scored 9 goals to lead the Nets Whites to a 14-12 victory over the North Village Lady Rams. Isaiah Wainwright added 5 goals for the Nets Whites. Jayla Wade scored 8 goals for the North Village Lady Rams, while Toya Anderson added 4 goals. In the Development League, the Nets Whites under-16 team defeated the Nets Greens under-14 team 32-7. The Bermuda Rugby Football Union's league season resumed this week after last week's Mariners Spirit Day at the National Sports Center. In the Women's League, it was the Mariners 1, Renegades 0, Teachers 4, Police 0. In the Men's Division, it was the Renegades 40, the Mariners 10, Police 25, and Teachers 17. Thank you for joining. I'm Earl Baisden with Islandstats Sports. Do enjoy the rest of your day.